next meeting, but it's the Parks Commission meeting of November 7th, and the meeting is being recorded in accordance with all the open meeting laws.
I think we did. I thought
okay.
we did.
Yeah, so the field lighting project, I spoke with Jeremy. I mean, I guess maybe just a recap for the purposes of the, so I looked at the total bids for each project because I don't think we can split these. I'm just going to put this briefly on the screen just so it's in the recording as well. If I can find email. Apparently that's not happening. This one? Or not? All right, I don't know what that did. Forget it. Okay, I'll do this so at least you can see it, AJ. So yeah, so when you look at the total bids, so Central Mass Signal was 413, 900,000. ESB Light was 685, 400. Island Lighting and Power was 297, 500, and Tilton Electric was 310. So I think Island Lighting and Power is clearly the low bidder.
Yeah.
And I believe Jeff from them is on the call as well. The problem is, so we have 220 from CPA plus 50,000 for the basketball court. So that's 270. We had 23,500 for donations. It sounds like it's actually 24,500. So we're at 294,500, which means we're 3,000 short. I spoke with Jeremy. He said he was going to bring up the select board meeting last night, but he had no problem committing some additional ARPA funds towards this project. And then also we had talked about paying for like the lights in the basketball court, which we were always going to do, the physical fixtures, before we realized the poles were crap.
Yeah.
So if we have to come up with $3,000, that's no big deal.
Right.
I
agree.
I think so. I think I would make a motion, and I put it down. Just triple check that everything in here was complete. But I guess I would. Oh no, I can make a motion. I would make a motion to award the contract to Island Lighting and Power Systems for this project.
You hear, John? Can we hear, John?
I think
Second.
yeah, I think
Second.
Yeah.
uh,
All in favor?
how did he?
Give him a thumbs up.
You know
Yeah.
what? I'm an idiot. I think my speakers are off. Like I see John in the transcript, but I don't hear him. All right. Say something now, John.
Can you guys hear me?
There we go.
Yeah.
Geez, I just figured you had your volume off.
No, I've been trying to talk to you guys.
Sorry.
So you want to redo the motion? Just so we have,
Yeah. So I'll make a motion to award the contract to Island Lighting and Power Systems for the Memorial Park field lights and the basketball court lighting.
Second.
All in favor?
I
And then we'll have to formally sign the contract with them. I will send it to him. Actually, maybe what we could do is make a motion to authorize signing the contract, and then when it's ready to sign, we can just sign it. We don't have to have another meeting.
Yeah.
So I would make a motion to sign the project contract with Island Lighting and Power.
second.
All in favor?
And then I'll
I
sorry.
Yeah.
I'll make sure that that's all set. I believe we already have the contract ready to go because it's just the same thing we keep using for all these projects. Field lights, light contract. I think it's one of these. Yeah, because I think definitely we got to get this done. I don't know, Jeff. I don't know if you could, what is the kind of real rough lead time are we looking at on this kind of a project?
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Lead time. So I presume then no contracts have been signed on purchasing the lighting equipment or anything like that?
No,
Or-
so that the whole, I think the way this is written, all of that hopefully is included in this bid.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was thinking about a different, yeah, correct. So
Yeah.
this
So
of
we would-
course is their busy, we're probably
Right.
talking at a minimum, I would say probably late winter, early spring at this point.
Okay. I mean, our only limit is it has to be done by July 1st.
Yeah, I remember that from the call last week. Yeah, that's no problem. No problem at all.
And I know I'd read like some are the polls like crazy back order. Will that stuff?
It's not so much that, it's just the shipping is the hardest, is
Yeah.
actually the biggest choke point for them right now. But, so no, with the award, we can get moving on that side of it. And, I'll let Mike Berry from Musco know, and we can just get everything going. That's the way to do it.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, interesting. So I think we had talked to him years ago to get initial quotes on this project. I recognize that name.
Okay.
Yeah, I think our goal is to, I mean, unfortunately, it'll probably bleed into the spring season, but that's too bad. The
They don't
priority is,
care.
this has been a long time coming,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I think this would be
And,
huge.
Jeff, just one question for you. Once you guys start the project, how much time do you anticipate it's gonna take to completion?
It's probably 90 days from start to finish.
Okay. I'm just thinking, yeah, we have to have it complete by July 1st, but we're in the middle, come springtime, we're in the middle of
Yeah.
baseball and softball season.
Right, right. Well, why don't we get the contract in order, and then we can start to get some real dates from the Musco or whoever the lighting supplier is, and we can start to back into it. But I don't have any doubt we could meet your deadline of July 1st, and also work around your season starting probably in March as far as practices are concerned.
Yeah, usually actually it's late,
Yep.
mid-April is when opening day will be.
Okay, okay. Yeah, we can definitely work with that.
I mean, it's, softball will be tricky. Baseball, because they have the one field. Baseball has the back fields, but they do use that T-ball field quite a bit. But I think, yeah, so I will send back over the contract that we have that was part of this, so we can get that signed and squared away. And then if there's anything else we need, it'll be great to move this forward for sure.
Wow,
Great. Now we're excited about it. Thank you.
yeah.
I need to follow up with baseball. I still haven't gotten a clear answer, but I believe I know they need to formally donate that money to the town. I'm not clear if Parks has to accept that or the select board has to accept that.
Mm.
If it's a,
Maybe
I
the
wanna say
select
it's-
board.
Yeah, but
I don't
the
know.
parks yeah, I would check.
That's what I
would
thought
check
too, but
I would check with legal and see what they say.
yeah, I did before, and then I never really got a clear answer. But I think it was even before Jeremy. I met with him yesterday, but we talked about so many things that I don't know if we fully got to that part of the discussion yet. And he was going to, I don't know what was discussed last night, but he was going to ask them for more than 3,000. We just have to have something
Yeah, I
signed
mean,
by December, which we will.
like I had said, given our leaf back purchase, they approved up to $60,000 and we spent 31,000. So there's money in ARPA. I would venture, because he likes to put some contingencies in there that he's gonna approve maybe 15 or 20, I don't know, but he won't just do the 3,000.
Right. Yeah, and I think that, we didn't have enough of a contingency. So, all right, so I guess that's done. I don't know if there's anything else really for parks. I reached out to Jen O'Neill about the lifeguard reimbursement. I'll go see if she's upstairs. She didn't get back to me yet, just to confirm the exact process, and make sure that it's okay to split it over 2 years. And then the only other thing, I guess, is the senior center project, which
Yeah, so I
we
think
have the
at
results.
this point, who knows what they're gonna do? Are they gonna come back for another try at it? But I think at this point, we need to get something on paper that shows them, from a parks and highway standpoint, what we're thinking for that building, and then get it to Jeremy and the select board just to get their opinion on it and see if they want to look into it.
Would you excuse me, guys? This is Jeff from ILP. If
Yeah.
the lighting portion is done, I'll let you guys continue with your business.
Okay,
Yep.
you
Yeah,
guys good?
sorry, Jeff.
Yeah, no worries. I'm interested, but I got other shit to do. So
Thanks, Jeff.
Okay.
thank you so much. Look forward to working with you all.
You as well.
Same here.
What was I saying? Yeah, so I met with Jeremy about a bunch of stuff yesterday, and that was one of the things I mentioned to him too, is like, parks, between that and the landscape stuff, we need to put something together, and we're done waiting, I guess is the way to say it. We've got to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
and-
think we need to focus on that full-time position like we talked about, and two, let's focus on what we see for the Morrison Drive building.
Yeah, and I would say Jeremy was open to the maintenance thing too. He said at least initially we should propose a full-time position. He doesn't want to see us
Yeah.
keep doing things with seasonal.
And that's kind of the consensus we came to at the last meeting, right? Is
So,
we go for the full-time position, and as a or backup plan, we expand hours for seasonal staff.
yeah, but I think, even if it's just a limited position that works, between the two departments for right now. So I'll put together something when we start talking about our budget, which probably in the next month or so, we should look to finalize that, or going into December.
I honestly, we should be looking at it from not just the parks budget, but a highway budget, because we're going to be utilizing this individual in the winter time.
Yeah, well, I just, at least figure out what it would cost, and then they can figure out where to stick it. But how many hours, it sounds like, what's the rate? It was like 23 or something is your middle number,
So right now,
give or take.
I'd have to look and see what it went up to now that they have a signed contract, but it was 2240. And if it's just going to be a full-time person and not a foreman position, then you're looking at that starting rate there. And I know we talked about it before, my recommendation would be able to make a grounds and facilities foreman that oversees the staff, the seasonal staff, and they handle everything to do with parks and facilities. As you know, Dan, facility issues usually come to you or they come to me.
Right, and I think Jeremy mentioned, I think that's another priority for them too, that it would be nice to offload some of this stuff, that have somebody who can focus on that, meet with contractors, get pricing, more than just drive the truck and mow the lawns and plow snow, but has a little more administrative involvement. And I think that's kind of the stuff that Dick Joyner did back in the day, at least for parks, but
I mean, he was the working foreman.
yeah.
Out in the field for the majority of it.
There's
I know
not
he
a
would
job.
attend parks meetings.
Is there a job description for him?
He wasn't-
anywhere.
There wasn't a full-time job description, but I can start calling around, because I know like Franklin's got they have a grounds foreman. So I could start getting some job descriptions, and maybe we can kind of combine some to make it work for what we're looking for.
Yeah.
I can start looking around and see what I can find.
Yeah, and we should, and then from Morrison Drive, maybe we should, I don't know, if the seniors are going to potentially now take another look at that building versus renovating the existing center. But maybe we should push them to get some money towards doing some work. The select board, I mean.
Yeah. I mean, I think we need to, we talked about this before. I think we, as the Parks Commission, need to put something on paper that just gives them a basic proposal on what we are thinking for that building, and let them chew on it, and let them make and say, we like this, or no, we don't. Because it's not worth sinking money into something with this building if they're not on board with it.
Right.
Right. No, I agree. I think, I mean, I don't know if you got any more information on the flooring. I can try and take another crack at the floor plans based on our meeting we had
Yeah,
back
if
then.
you-
And it's
I mean,
real rough, just sketch, but
Yeah, and that's what they need to see. Like I tried and I kept losing the one that I was making online, so I kind of drew it out just to have an idea as to what we'd be looking
Yeah.
at.
I mean, I
But
don't know.
if we can get something a little more clean looking as opposed to like marker and pen, I think, and we go and we present it to the board and the town administrator and let them say, oh, we don't like this, or yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, right. And maybe sit down with Jason too and make sure, like, if whatever he
So
needs
Jason
in terms
is-
of classroom
Jason's-
training and
Yeah,
stuff.
he's on board with it because of that big 3,000 square foot area that he can now utilize for training. And it could also be a multi.
Right.
Essentially, could
Hang on.
take
But
the place of the community center that,
There
or
we go.
to an extent.
Right.
yeah, that was my thought too. Right. That's your community space between, because you have that, you have the library, so you have these spaces in town that can fill that need instead of building a brand new building that is just, I think too much for people at this point.
Right.
And then let them focus on just the senior needs.
Yeah.
And see what that gets them. All right, I think double check this. If there was anything that we needed. Oh, I know, because he keeps bugging me. Rick Tassoni from the Scouts.
So I guess if we can work on so we can floor plan.
Yeah, I have some huge commitments in November. I'm booked like every single night, but at some point, if I have like a free night, I will try and sit down and mess with it. I have that thing I drew. I gotta find the site I did it and see if I can like just edit it.
Would imagine you can, but
I remember looking before or find a new one.
so what
just,
was about Rick
if
Tassoni?
it's off a few feet, it's not a big deal. So apparently some job site so they got a bunch of Salvation Army donation boxes like for free, and they want to paint them up and use them as like collection points for the can and bottle recycling for the Scouts. I think he's troop 44, but I never have them right. And he wants to put one at the park, one at town hall, and then I think some other, maybe the fire station. So I connected him with Jeremy because I think the select board has to talk about the park, the town hall.
Yeah.
And then for us, well, maybe he's here. Is he coming here, or do we just lose him? John. Oh, it just his camera shut off.
I'm here. I'm
sorry.
still here. I shut the camera off.
It went away. So if we're okay with locating something like that on the park and then finding a location,
I think the park makes sense. I don't know about the other location, but it's not our call.
yeah,
We need enough room to get in and out, not tie up traffic and stuff, but
I mean,
not a bad idea. As long as they empty them,
I warned him, and I think
because they're gonna get bottles that aren't clean.
find somewhere to put it that people aren't going to just dump trash in it.
Yeah,
Um,
well, all the potential for mice and stuff, because
yeah,
people are just gonna throw in other stuff, I think.
I mean, I guess it probably should just go over near the existing dumpsters on Millville Road. The only minor issue is at some point we may need to move those dumpsters
Yeah.
a little bit further up because of they're too close to the well, but so
Oh,
far
yeah.
it hasn't been a big deal. And the trash company gets lazy and they get further and further into our parking lot. But
Yeah, I
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where. I mean, they'll look really nice. So I don't know where, if you just put it there, and that way, if at least
sure there's a lot of cans that go out, during the season, during baseball and softball. I don't know how much soda they.
Yeah, I mean, we use the recycling. I don't know how much, and I guess if they're next to the dumpsters, we can try and pick out anything that's actually recyclable and toss them in there. You know, I'm not going to go crazy, but most of it's water bottles.
Yeah.
You know, if the camp has stuff, they're over there. But so you're fine with locating one in the park somewhere to be determined.
I think it's, as long as it's maintained,
I'll let them know.
you know, if it starts getting junky and like you said, a
Yeah.
lot of trash.
He said, I mean, they're gonna paint him and clean him up. I think it's gonna end up being his daughter's Eagle project. It's kind of the impression I got. But and then he'll have to talk to the select board about town hall if they want to allow that. That's their problem.
Is there any way, you know, just in case, they don't really get used, that it's time limited and we can ask them to remove them? Just so it's not just an eyesore sitting there? You know, that.
Yeah, maybe say like we're okay with it, but we wanted like check in and like it's not just gonna. I mean, he's really good. I don't know how well you know him. He helped with the beach project a lot.
Yeah.
He donated labor.
I like the idea, right?
If his daughter ages out and then he's gone and now they have nobody to has access to machinery to move them,
Yeah, it can just
and then we're stuck with it.
turn into a big piece of trash.
So maybe, just like we want to reevaluate and make sure it's actually getting used.
Yeah, even a couple of years. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not thinking 6 months, but a couple of years just to see. And if in fact it's not really getting used, then, you know, what is their plan instead? They shouldn't just plan on leaving it. So that's something they want to consider is how do they, I don't know what you do with something like that size when you're done with it.
Right. I mean, I guess it'll be John's problem in the metal dump, or
Yeah.
give it. I don't know if they're pad or if they just sit on the ground, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's a good point. That'll be one more thing we're stuck with.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not convinced it's gonna be worth it to them, but we'll see. I don't know how well the senior center does with.
yeah, I don't know if that.
I bring mine to them all the time, and I see, you know, bags of cans in there because they're really good about going through them. I think pretty
Yeah.
frequently, but then you leave it in the gazebo. You know, it's so they deal with it immediately.
Yeah, and I think some of that too. They had, it's something for them to do, so they have people that can
Right, they got the volunteers. Right.
work on them. I know even like I keep a thing at the shack, and I try and pull stuff out at the beach, but it's a pain in the rear.
Yeah, yeah. I can
And
get
for
that.
what, $10
Well, you get
over
ants and you
years,
get
and
bugs
bees and
stuff and bees,
everything
right?
gross. But whatever. If it works for them, if it gets them a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that's a good point. Is what's the future? You know, if in fact he's not involved anymore, if it's his, it's really a Boy Scout project, so the group has to commit to it, not just the individual.
right.
But yeah, I love the idea of stuff getting recycled.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how much. I kind of feel like it's just goes and sits in a pile now. But
Yeah,
I know we
and
have
they
that.
must burn it down and get the nickel back. Is that the idea?
Yeah, I think and they've come and taken the stuff from Soccer Fest, like all the beer bottles,
Oh, really?
a few times
So all the glass they recycle or something?
but yeah, you got to bring them back to the store and
Oh, yeah,
clean them all up, but
Yeah.
they put the kids to work on that.
yeah, I guess. A
So
lot of work. I do it at home, but
Yeah.
nobody else does it but me. It's only me.
so yeah. All right, I'll let them know about that one, and then yeah.
Yeah.
Let me are you John? Are you around, or I'm typing up this contract. Maybe I can print it, and AJ and I can sign it. And I can leave it somewhere, and you can sign it, and then we'll have our signed version of it.
I'm just gonna pick up a part at JC Madigan. I'll be back in town by lunchtime, so.
All right, maybe I'll leave it in my office door, or maybe I'll even bring it if I'm going that direction. As soon as it's over, I got to go do some more leaves, so I'm not going to stay in town hall
Okay.
too much longer, but not critical either. So, all right,
Okay,
Yeah.
that it?
I think that's everything then.
All right,
Make a
make
motion
a motion to adjourn.
Second,
All in favor?
aye. All right, record.